We're just waiting for this city solicitor to put together some language for the committee. Could the clerk please call the roll for the committee to come back into regular session?
Ms. Rostigowicz?
Yes.
Ms.
Here.
Scott?
Here.
Mr. Conway?
Here.
Mayor Elliott?
Yeah, here.
Mr. Gendron?
Here.
Mr. Leary?
Here.
Ms. Martin?
Here.
7 present.
7 present. So we have a number of motions that we'd like to bring forward from the executive session regarding the 2 items on the agenda for this evening. The first one is first motion would be to approve a 1-year contract with the superintendent of schools, which will provide for the terms similar to our existing contracts, and in addition, will provide for a 1% COLA increase. 2, potential for a 2% performance-based increase if the superintendent attains a proficient rating, or the potential for a 3% performance-based increase if the superintendent attains an exemplary rating. Move to approve by Mr. Gendron, second by Ms. Martin. Discussion on the motion. Okay. If there's no objection from Mr. Gendron?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to support this 1-year contract because it's the will of the committee. I was in support of the 2-year contract, though. Just want to make that clear. And I feel like this process has been flawed. I feel like that this is not the most professional way to handle the superintendent's contract. I feel as though the committee gathered many times in executive session to discuss the contract. We made a proposal to the superintendent. We negotiated with the superintendent. Superintendent accepted our proposal. We all agreed. And then at the last minute, we pulled the rug out from under the superintendent, and she's graciously agreed to accept a 1-year contract in replacement of that. But I think that's not an appropriate way for the committee to go about negotiations with our administrators. I think it sets a bad tone for future negotiations, and I'm unhappy with the way that went down. I don't feel as though it was a professional way to handle it. I realized there were some things that came up between the time we offered the contract and the time we voted on it in regular meeting. I personally didn't see those. While I agreed that those were issues, I personally didn't see those as issues that were worthy of changing direction on the contract. So I am going to support it because it's the will of the body, and I do look forward to working with the superintendent for the next year. But I just want to go on record that I'm really dissatisfied with the way this was handled, and was in full support of that 2-year contract. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Gendron. Mr. Leary?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm in agreement with my colleague regarding the 2-year piece of the contract. I do take a separate opinion than my good friend regarding the process. I think if you have something to say, I think it's important that you get it out and you communicate. And I think in an area where you're dealing with with an employee, you need to begin that in executive session. And I think we've really dealt with that in an area, and I think it's important. And I'll just say what I said to you. I think it's imperative that when you have a vision of where you think the district's going, that you stand up and really fight for that vision. And we can do that respectfully because we are going to disagree on certain issues. But it's imperative that you take your talents and your skill sets and really lead the system. And if you disagree with me personally, you should respectfully show why you disagree and show the points clearly why you think I'm wrong. I'm not going to always be right, but I think it's imperative that we have folks that fight for our school system. And I think your goals and your beliefs in kids are number one are really the way we have to focus. While I would have supported a 2-year contract, I will definitely go with the will of the body and support the first year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leary. Mr. Conway?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also will certainly support the 1-year contract extension for the superintendent. I certainly did have concerns, and what I want to point out is I appreciate the work that the superintendent has done and the dedication she has to this district and to the students. She has mentioned that often, and the area that I happen to disagree with on, one of the areas I disagreed with was the financial part of it. That's one area that I did not agree with at all, did not vote for. But at the end of the day, in total, the contract, the 1-year extension, I certainly will be a positive vote on that, and I look forward to working with you. And I know that going forward, we obviously are going to disagree. We disagree amongst ourselves. We're going to disagree with you. You're going to disagree with us. At the end of the day, we have a goal, and we're professionals, and we work hard to make sure that goal is attained, and that is to give the best education to our students. So again, I look forward to working with you, Madam Superintendent. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Further discussion? I just want to say that I didn't support the contract. I didn't support the 1-year contract. I didn't support contracts for the city manager or the city auditor on the city side because, quite frankly, they didn't work. In my opinion, contracts, they're good for the employees, but they're not good for taxpayers. Most, including myself, I go to work every day without a contract, and most hardworking people, residents, taxpayers, do the same. So I also want to say, and I've said it in an executive session more than once, and I've said it to the superintendent, I think she does a good job. I support her. I just don't support contracts, so I want to be consistent, and that was my concern with not voting for it. So I just wanted to make that statement, that it's not about the superintendent. It's just my position on contracts, and I want to be consistent, as I have been with the new city manager and the new city auditor. Ms. Martin?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I am looking forward to supporting this one-year contract. I think that I am very appreciative to my colleagues and to the superintendent that we had an opportunity to discuss what I think was some pretty substantive issues. I appreciate the superintendent's candor in being able to discuss what I think were very problematic situations, and I think her clarity and honesty in talking with us gave me a great deal of confidence moving forward. So as we move forward, I'm looking forward to working with the superintendent, and I think we will be able to, again, continue the important work of the Lowell Public Schools. But I did want to just take that moment to thank everyone. I know that it was my motion that brought us into this conversation, and I appreciate the opportunity to have it, even if everyone else didn't. But thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. For the discussion, roll call.
Ms. Ross-Sikowicz,
Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Conway,
Yes.
Mayor Elliott,
No.
Mr. Gendron,
Yes.
Mr. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 nay, approved.
6 yea, 1 nay, motion carries. Next item the next item on the agenda is the Assistant Superintendent Claire Abrams contract amendment. Motion to approve, entertain a motion to approve a contract extension for Mary C. Abrams until July 31st, 2014. Motion by Ms. Ross-Sikowicz, second by Ms. Martin. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Ross-Sikowicz,
Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Conway,
Yes.
Mayor Elliott,
No.
Mr. Gendron,
Yes.
Mr. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 nay, approved.
The only other motion that also came out of executive session, which the city solicitor suggested, is that we adopt a motion to instruct the law department to prepare documents for the proper vote for Ms. Abrams. So I'll entertain a motion that we do that by Mr. Conway, seconded by Mr. Gendron. Roll call.
Ms. Ross-Sikowicz,
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Conway,
Yes.
Mayor Elliott,
Yes.
Mr. Gendron.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
7 yeas, approved.
Having no further business before the committee, entertain a motion to adjourn. By Mr. Gendron, seconded by Mr. Leary. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and the opposed. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.